episode 32.
32? Wow.
I think so. You know me, I always mess up the count. I'm pretty sure it's 32 though.
I think
So
so too.
first episode of the new year, first episode of 2021.
Yeah,
So
does it feel any different for you being in 2021?
no. It's like it's such a sin too because I feel like, we all were kind of like, oh, like, new year, better year, but I feel like it's like the clock struck midnight and you're like, fuck, like it's not like COVID magically dissipate, like you're like, oh, nope, it's the same. We're still here. But no, it's all right. I'm like, oh, by the way, like this is still happening. My dad has a nail gun going in the background, so if you keep hearing loud pops, that's what it is.
Oh, I
Hopefully.
envy him. I haven't done construction work in a long time because now I live in LA in an
Right.
apartment building. And one of the best feelings is using that staple gun. It's the best.
I know. Is it like sexual? I don't understand. Is it make you feel powerful?
Nail guns, staple guns, it's like using an actual gun without having to kill anyone. It's wonderful.
Oh, interesting. Like an airsoft gun. Yeah, no. I
No,
said,
more powerful because you could kill someone with a nail gun or a staple gun, but you don't.
but you
You're
you
building
chose not to.
stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. No, I was gonna say, like at least something is getting nailed around here. But like, but no, no, I can kind of see how like, I also think like power, like watching a man use power tools, like there's something hot about that. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It's just like, I don't know what it is. Like there's something hot about a guy that can like fix stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So,
do you find men with guns attractive, like actual guns?
well, I don't really want to answer that question, but I kind of do
Yeah.
because, I have like this whole weird, thing where it's like I'm progressive, but like I feel the need to date people who are not like me. So yeah,
Hmm.
so like these like gun-toting, godforsaken men are like right up my alley. But it's like I wouldn't like the idea of a guy owning guns or like liking to go to like a firing range doesn't bother me, but like if he was like, oh yeah, I'm looking to shoot someone someday, um like then that's like a problem, like that I wouldn't like if he was like looking to like, or if he had like grenades, because that to me is like
Yeah.
next level, or if he was like, honey, I
So
want
like,
to invest in like a Humvee, I'd be like, no, no, we don't need that.
so the kids from Columbine are not particularly attractive to you.
No, yeah, like that would
Okay.
be, yeah, a perfect example of like it would be too far. Like don't want that. Um, speaking of bad days though, I wanted to sort of like briefly touch on, the great Pornhub purge of 2020, which
Yeah.
to me it was like Black Monday. Like we just woke up one day and all the porn was gone. And I didn't know why. It was like bad news on the doorstep. But
And it's a
apparently,
lot. It's a lot of videos, right?
yes, you and I keep trying to figure out the number because at first they said, oh, it's just 50% of the videos are gone. But according to my calculations, it's more like 70% of the videos are gone. So, because now we have like almost 3 million, but I could have sworn that before this happened, it was close to like 9 or 10 million on there. So that's like a hefty cut, too.
Yeah. No,
Um,
there's different reports online. I'm seeing some articles saying 2 million gone. I'm seeing some articles saying 9 million gone. So who knows, but it's a lot. It's a lot of videos.
yeah. Well, listen, as like a frequent flyer of Pornhub, I am with the 9 million. I think that that's it. The figure is closer to 9 million.
Wow.
And it's just like, it's terrible now. So it's like, I feel like it's like the when Greta Thunberg, like that video of her, and she's like, like you've stolen my dreams, like you've ruined my childhood. That's how I feel right now. Like
But are you going to another site now? Is Pornhub still your go-to, or are you converting?
yeah, Pornhub is still my go-to because these other sites like lack the infrastructure to,
Mm.
at least for me anyway. It's like the everything's like choppy, the video's choppy, like it's hard to browse. I don't like
Pop-ups.
it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it just feels like, it's nothing sacred anymore. Um like it
You could
just
pay for porn.
mm, I could. I could. And that's the other thing is I said to you the other day that like now because of this situation, I've been reaching out to close friends for their homemade videos. Because what else are we supposed to do? You know?
How's that been working out for you?
It's pretty good. It's like I always like to say like it's a level of friendship that most people do not get to reach. But I have reached it with a number of my friends. So I don't even really have to ask. Like people like to just send me, men and women like to send me like their nudes and their sex tapes, which is really kind of interesting.
I
But
totally get it. You're so open sexually that you seem like the go-to person. Like you give the nice hand on the shoulder. You know.
right, like I am the porn tape whisperer or the sex tape
Yeah.
whisperer. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, or like it's like and people like my friend I was telling my guy friend about it and he was like, "Well, like he's like, what do you say when someone sends you, a video?" And I'm like, "It's kind of like when somebody shows you a picture of their baby. Like even if it looks like a sea monkey, you have to be like, "Oh, it's really cute." And it's kind of the same thing when someone sends you a sex tape. Like you have to be like, you want to be encouraging and you're like, "Oh, it's great." And if you want to give critiques, you have to be very gentle about it, so as to not bruise their ego.
I
So,
think you should do the opposite. I think you're offering a service here, and they really want to know the truth. I think you should, Simon, American Idol it.
just be like super harsh. Well, I feel like the thing with
Yeah.
sex tapes, it's like what they say about pizza. Like there's no such thing as bad pizza. Like even when it's bad, it's good. And I kind of feel like the same thing with sex tapes. Like, unless you're handling the camera like Michael J. Fox and it's like a
The lights
mess.
are off. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, then it's pretty good. I'm definitely going to hell for that joke. So sorry, everyone. I feel like he would laugh. I feel like he would laugh at it.
Probably not, but that's fine. He doesn't listen.
Yeah, I doubt he's listening, but even if he did, I feel like he would think that was funny. I hope. Yeah, don't cancel me. But yeah, it's just like there's really no, like in my mind there's not really like unless like again it's like too dark and there's like but I like sometimes when I see them, it's not like I'm like, "Oh, it's bad," but because I'm a perfectionist, I'm like I want to get in there and be the director. Like I
Yeah.
absolutely like if I directed porn, I could be like the Martin Scorsese of porn directors. Like I'm like everything, like the angles, the lighting, like who's standing where, like who's shooting what where, like like there's like this is an art form and you have to treat it as such. You know,
Yeah.
you get
How important is backstory to you?
um it's fun, but I feel like in like, if you're just making one at home, who gives a shit, Like
Yeah,
nobody.
I've never cared. Older porns especially. There's a whole story involved, especially when you buy like an old DVD. It's a movie. There's a plot, which I just feel that's ridiculous. But I mean, apparently some people like it.
Well, yeah, like they call it gonzo porn, which is when it goes straight to the banging. That's called gonzo, and that
I didn't
didn't.
know that.
Yeah, little fun fact for you. Didn't come around until like the '90s. So before that, there was always like some like there was like characters, and you had to have a couple lines in the beginning. Um, did I ever tell you that I made a speech about porn in college?
No.
Yes, I had to take, everybody had to take a public speaking class and you could choose the topic you wanted to get up there and talk about. So I got up there and talked about porn for 10 minutes.
Wow, how'd it go? You get an A?
Yes, and it went really well. And my professor asked me in front of the whole class, he was like, "What made you choose this topic?" And I said, "Because everybody was going to get up here and talk about boring things. I wanted to get up here and have everybody listen to me intently for 10 minutes." And they sure did. So my method worked.
There you go.
Yeah, so you know me, I'm like a born entertainer. I'm like, I don't care if it makes me look crazy. If the people are entertained, I am happy. So that's kind of how it works. And then I was thinking, I've said this before, the first porn, well, no, the first porn I ever watched was on the computer, but I have seen porn on VHS tapes. So I'm like a dying breed because how many people can say that our age?
Yeah, that's true. When I was younger and I first moved in with my dad after my parents split, he stopped like caring. So I would find in his room hundreds of bootleg porn DVDs and just lying around.
Oh my God. Bootlegs.
And they're the funniest names. Yeah, bootleg, and they were the funniest. It was very, for lack of the better term, ghetto. It was very ghetto porn.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
that's, I mean, everybody's got their thing. Yeah, and then like the thing about like the tapes though, I always laugh too is like it's like, like when people used to have to go and buy like vinyl albums. It's like the whole album has to be good, like cover to cover, because you can't
Mm-hmm.
skip around like you can nowadays. The VHS tapes was like the same thing. It's like it better be good, it better be good through and through because you can't, click around. It was like when you were in it to win it when you were watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I watched it after VHS or VHS players had gone like the way of the dodo. So I had to get an old TV we had with a VCR in it. And my
Why
mom
did
was
you
like,
have to watch this video?
right. And my guy, so I had to get this old TV with like a VCR attached to it. And my mom was like, why are you taking that? And I'm like, it's for school. But really, it was not. It was so,
But why? But why'd you have to watch?
why did I have to?
Yeah,
What?
when there's a world of online porn, why did you have to watch through the VHS?
Yeah, that's like a good question. I don't know. I just felt like I had like struck gold. Like I just thought it was so cool that I like had like a set. And you know who was in it? Peter North. Isn't that his name? I
I don't know
remember.
what that is.
No, is that? I think that's his name. He's like he almost looks like Fabio, but like dirtier.
Oh, well, do you remember the ladies in it?
No, because they were just like interchangeable. There was no. I don't remember there being like. I bet I could figure it out. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna like tweet it out. Which one it was. I kind of remember. Like they were like in the desert at some point. It was like a desert themed porn. There was like a
Wow.
like a Hummer in the background. I don't really know. But yeah, no, it was good.
Now,
So
now tell me if you disagree here. I'm not a fan of outdoor porn.
oh yeah, no, I don't. That like doesn't really do anything for me too. Because in my
Yeah,
mind,
something about the lighting. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. See, I'm telling you, the lighting is important.
Hmm.
But also just like the elements, like that's like a lot for me. Like I
Too
remember
much going on in the background. That's what
too,
I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
too many variables. Like God bless that director because I don't know how they dealt with it.
Hmm.
But somebody the other day had asked me, like jokingly, a friend, they were like, oh, like when are you going to start, your OnlyFans? And I was like, I'm not, planning on doing that unless, of course, I lose my job. But I was seriously thinking about this the other day. Like, I am so desperate for a vaccine that I would make a sex tape in exchange for a vaccine. That's,
Really?
oh, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Wow.
What an easy trade off. Are you kidding me? Give me your vaccine. I will hand you a feature length film in return. I
I'm
mean,
sure there's someone at Pfizer hearing this that can help you out.
yeah, if anybody has any hookups, like by all means. I feel like that's like a reasonable thing to do, to have a sex
Yeah,
tape
but
for.
we're talking both doses here. We're not saying just one. We need both.
Yeah, no, both and like which is the better one, Pfizer or Moderna? What do they say?
I don't know. Maybe
Whichever
Pfizer.
one's
I
the
don't know.
better one. Yeah, I mean obviously I want, quality in exchange for quality. I think that's fair. But
Yes.
yeah, pretty much at the point will fuck for a vaccine and I'm not afraid to say it. So, I mean, there's just I just need to be I can't I don't want to complain because everybody's life sucks right now, but I'm just so like I just want to like touch another human. I just want to like sweat and breathe on another human and have it be okay. It's,
Yeah. Well, you can do that now. It's just not, socially acceptable, but you can do that.
yeah, but I can't. Like you know me, like I care about other people, so I can't do that. But I
Hmm.
mean, I'm sure if you didn't care. Um And apropos of nothing, well, I mean, everything on this podcast is like apropos of nothing, but I
Hmm.
had a dream the other night that my friend had two vaginas, which
Wow.
I don't know what the psychological meaning behind that is, but I'm just like, I probably should stop eating spicy food like before bed. But
Was it well feng shuied, or was it just random location of the vagina?
it was, I would say it was like left of center, like and a little bit down and a little bit smaller than the main vagina. It was kind of
I
like
don't
an
like that.
no, yeah, it was kind of like an auxiliary vagina. Like remember in high school when you had like the gym and the auxiliary gym? This was like the auxiliary vagina off to the
Okay.
side.
All right.
But both nice vaginas, and she was crying in the dream. And I was like, me being supportive, I'm like, oh no, like a bunch of people have two vaginas. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
She do very well in the porn world.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like there's definitely like a niche market for like two vagina porn. Or
Yeah,
even just
I would say
dudes.
bigger than you'd think. I'm sure a lot of guys would be okay with that. Would you be okay with two penises?
Yeah, I would say yes because I'm a good multitasker. Um, but it's more work. I mean, I'm just thinking logically, but like I also feel like with a man too, and like men are not gonna like when I say this, but it's hard enough for them to handle one vagina. Like imagine the pressure of two. You got to get two
Yeah,
going. So I don't.
I'd
Yeah,
be overwhelmed.
yeah. See, it's like it's a lot. So that's like another reason why I hesitate to do a threesome because again, I'm a good multitasker, but there's just a lot of bells and whistles you got to worry about.
Do you think you'd prefer a threesome with two women or two men?
Um. Well, wait. Can't it be like a man and a woman?
I suppose it could.
I feel like that's like standard. I think I would like. I feel like that's like I think that's like the vanilla. Um.
Well, if you go down south, I'm thinking this is just me spitballing.
I was gonna
I'm
say we're
thinking
just spitballing here. We're just spitballing.
yeah, I think it's more two men with one lady in the south. That's what I'm thinking.
You mean like in the south of the United States or?
Yeah. I think if you go down like below, the Mississippi, I think threesomes are usually two guys, one girl. Am I wrong there?
No, it's a really interesting observation, and yet I feel like it's correct. Something about the southern states and the MMF threesome. I don't know if there's statistics on it, but we should pull. We should look. Um, yeah, no, that to me is like that's a lot. Like that's a lot of penetrating. I told you, I said this before. I don't want to be shish kebab. Like I feel like serious injury could take place. Like I don't know if that's for me. But no
Yeah.
shame if anybody's listening or watching and you do like that, because whatever you want to do is great as long as it's not hurting anybody.
So ideally, you would like one man and one woman with you.
Well, yeah, because isn't that the whole point to have like the yin and the yang? You know, it's like or
For
remember when you
for
were
you, it's the yin
younger.
and the yang, but for someone, it's not. I guess the guy. I mean, the guy wouldn't complain. I suppose.
Well, I feel like it's like when you were little and you get those like Dixie cups that were like half chocolate and half vanilla. Like that was the whole fun of it, is that you had like one and
All the
two.
best.
So that's what to me like a male, female threesome is. It's like a Dixie cup, but with gross fluids and not ice cream. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my mom's gonna hate this episode, but that's
Tell your
okay.
mom to stop watching because now I gotta watch my p's and q's.
No, yeah, no. We gotta like I told her, we gotta like what's like in that movie with Mark Wahlberg when he's like, I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly. I'm like, Mom, I'm like a sexual lunatic. You gotta let me like be who I am. It is what it is.
When I eventually meet your mom, because it'll happen at some point, she's gonna just look down at me.
No, she would blame me. Like she would think that I corrupted you. So don't worry.
I mean, she's right.
Yeah. No, I know, absolutely. You were like into Disney before you met me, and now look at you. You filthy animal. Um but yeah, and then I was gonna say this the other day. My aunt my aunt once told me that she knew somebody who had eyes on their vagina. And I'm like, that can't possibly be real. And she said, yeah,
Yeah,
her vagina grew eyes. I'm
that
like,
sounds like a horror movie. That sounds like there's a movie where a vagina has teeth.
ugh. Well, that's like scary. But imagine like like I feel like eyes are just judgy. Like imagine being a dude. Like imagine being a dude going down on a girl, and then you just had like two sets of eyes, like beady eyes looking down at
That's
you.
just as terrifying as teeth, maybe more.
Yeah.
That's just more judgment, which guys don't like.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, or like, even if you're just like regular sex, it's like, what if the eyes are judging your package? Like, that's got to be a lot of pressure for a dude, So I feel like two vaginas is cool, but like eyes are not cool. Eyes would not be fun. I'd be like, we got to blind that bitch down there because she is ruining my sex life. Um, But yeah, we're coming up on 20 minutes. We were talking about like an eye or vaginas having eyes. So what would we like to wrap on for this episode?
Well, I would say, of course, like and subscribe, and also follow Lughole Network. That's the company that produces this podcast. But also, if you have a suggestion as to a better website than Pornhub, we want to hear about it. So comment or DM us. What's a better website than Pornhub? We want to know.
Yeah, if you have a more reliable source now that, it's like been like it's like as if we needed anything out. Like that really was the final nail in the coffin for me for 2020. Was they just
but we don't want to hear about X videos or RedTube, the obvious ones we know.
Mm-hmm.
What are the unobvious ones? The ones that are 10 pages down Google.
That's you're going down a slippery slope though. When you go down too far, that's like the dark corners of porn.
Oh yeah, I'm not going that far, but I imagine some of your viewers do. So we want to hear it.
Yeah, no. I think everybody's going to OnlyFans now. I think now it's like that's the move, right? Is you kind of just, but that's like
there's free OnlyFans too. A lot of porn stars do free OnlyFans, and then you have the option to buy more videos if you want to.
You get like the teaser videos. Yeah, I mean. Yeah. That's good. I mean, listen, if my girls are making money, then I'm happy. It's not the worst thing in the world. No. Like the, what do you call it? Like the socialist in me feels like this is great. But of course, the like horny Republican man in me is like, this is not great. And give me my free shit. So that's where I'm at right now.
It's very much like Napster, except it lasted way longer.
Yeah. Exactly, like a LimeWire thing. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, now the episode has come full circle with like the guns and the Republicans. So I think that is a perfect note to end on. But like Al, oh my God, I'm like tripping over my words. Like Al said, like and subscribe, please, on YouTube or if wherever you're listening, whatever. And yeah, if you do have any better suggestions for porn watching sites, please let us know. But until next time, Al and I and the twins love you very much, and we'll see you back here next week.